Hey everyone, thank you for joining us for the Cleaning and Cocktails podcast. This is where I get the opportunity to speak with fellow cleaning business owners, small, medium, and large. We take the time to let them share their stories on the ups and downs in the industry. I also speak with other experts and professionals in the industry, from your manufacturers, your suppliers, trainers, as well as other types of entrepreneurs. My mission is to empower our cleaning industry to inspire and motivate each and every one of you. I want you guys to reach new heights of success and learn from one another. My goal is to have you walk away with some tips, secrets, advice, and opinions that are relevant to all of us in our day-to-day hustle and grind while we're out there in the field working every single day. So sit back and share a cocktail with us and enjoy the show. All right, hey everybody, welcome again to another episode of Cleaning and Cocktails. As you see, I got the new digs in the back. Made some changes in the room that you can't see yet, but you can kind of probably see the blackness going on around here in the back. It just makes everything feel a lot more cooler, and we're getting better and better with these episodes. Today I have the pleasure of bringing on, and I'll let you say the last name, Diana. I don't want to butcher your last name, but I have Diana here from Clean App. She's out of Phoenix, Arizona. But just quickly on the show, you guys know what it's about. It's about bringing together the cleaning community, bringing together people that have empowered our space, that are doing so much positive and good things, whether you're a cleaning business owner, whether you're in technology, whether you're a supplier, manufacturer. My goal is to empower our space by bringing all these minds together, sharing knowledge, and really shedding a positive light in the cleaning industry. So without further ado, I got Diana here from Phoenix, Arizona. You guys, the story, I've gotten to know Diana for quite a bit now. The story that this woman has is amazing. That's why I couldn't wait to share it. So Diana, I don't even want to go into who you are. I want to let you do that. Talk about where you came from. Give a quick 5 minutes intro on yourself, because we got a lot to get into.
Awesome. Well, my name is Diana Muturiga. I'm originally
See, I would have butchered that. I would have butchered that last name. I was going in a totally different direction. Go ahead. Sorry.
You're fine. My last name is a mouthful, so I'm very forgiving. But hey, yeah, my name is Diana Muturiga. I'm originally from Kenya. Came here to the United States when I was 18 years old. Came to study math and mechanical engineering. And my last year of college, I dropped out. And I didn't want to drop out. I'm not a Mark Zuckerberg story. I'm actually the opposite. I wanted to finish college. But finances were not great. And my last math advisor told me that I don't look like an engineer. I don't seem to look like an engineer. So I lost my scholarships and I dropped out of college. And at that time, actually, I was cleaning people's houses to afford my $200 math books and my first winter clothes, and I ended up doing it full time because I was not in school anymore. And even though it was a dark time for me, I ended up meeting a community of cleaners who were still going through the challenges that us cleaners go through. And I was like, I gotta figure out something, and I can't waste my smarts just because I don't have a paper to show that. So I went from mechanical background to a technical background, and I built Clean App. At first, did not know anything about coding, and did a lot of mistakes with trying to find contractors. And I just finally said, you know what, I'm going to just sit down, learn how to code. Made something very clunky, but it worked, and it helped me understand the right developers to have in my team. And now we have an in-house development team. And we finished the application, so pretty happy about that. And the app is called Clean App.
Oh, man. So what you guys don't know is today's episode is cleaning and cocktails and coffee, because Diana has a coffee with her. And remember, we don't discriminate against coffee drinkers, so it still rhymes with the C. So cheers to you, Diana.
Cheers.
I mean, you guys, that was a mouthful what she just said. We're going to dig deeper into that, peel back the onion and all that stuff that she just touched on. But first and foremost, Diana, you come from Kenya, so you can be, I don't like labels or anything, right? But you're like that immigrant story that's coming from here from another country, because you're doing what? You're following your American dream to come here to freedom, great
Yeah.
education, right? How, I mean, how did your family take that? Because I got to believe you got a lot of family back home in
Yeah.
Kenya. Like, what did they say to you as far as you were, I mean, you were young, right? You are young. So coming
Yeah.
here did you come by yourself or did you have somebody in Phoenix or was this literally,
I
you,
came here by myself. Yeah.
wow. So
Yeah, me and my backpack.
you in a backpack. So, I mean, that's, again, it's scary, right? I mean, did you know, you don't know what you're coming into. Now, the school that you selected in Phoenix, you knew that this was a school you selected, or was it a school that you had qualified to get into, or how did the school selection go for you?
So in high school, we did very well in basketball. We were second, third best team in the country most of the time, and we were selected to come to the U.S. to go to the 76ers camp. And we were hoping to get scholarships and all that, and it didn't work out. So we went back home, and I was like, I'm going to try this again since I have a visa. Let me try this again. And I ended up getting a school in Texas. So that's where I actually went to school. I went to school in Texas. And then after school, that's when I moved to Phoenix.
Oh, so this, see, I mean, this is why I like to dig deep. Do you know that I am an avid basketball fan? I played in
What?
college. I played in college.
What?
I like to say my fame is that I am on the wall of fame at my high school. I am a 3-point champion. And that's my glory is I am on the wall of fame for basketball. Even though my friends will give me shit because they're like, Rick, you got lucky. You
What?
you started hitting threes at the right time of the year. But no, yeah, I love basketball. Yeah, my brothers all play. I mean, so I get that's a whole nother topic, right? Is how sports open up the doors for us in other different ways. Now, how was that journey to come over here as far because you're a woman of color. This is not your country. This is a foreign country. How did you adapt to, not only school but the fact that you had to clean to pay for books? Like, did cleaning come natural for you? Was that a job you knew that, hey, I could do this while I'm going to school?
I did not have a clue that I would be cleaning houses to cover my books. Like, when you're back home when I'm back home in Kenya, the amount of money that we saved, we thought it would last me like, a good year of just like food and those small stuff. And when I got here, I realized that $200 doesn't, that's one book.
Yeah.
And so it was a really huge shock, even telling my mom, like, hey, one book is $200. And she was like, what? Yeah. And just to give you a perspective, I sent my mom a while back Christmas gift, $600, and she was fined for 5 to 6 months. So
Wow.
you can just, for one person,
the
that
comparison.
takes you a while.
So
Yeah.
you sending her 500-600, you coming here with a certain amount, way different.
Way
Two
different.
totally different.
Way different.
Now, is
So-
your mom and everybody still there? Is any of the family
Yes.
here?
Yeah, my entire family is still back home. I take care of them. I'm able to do that now. I'm very, very proud of that.
Yeah.
But before, it was quite daunting. It was high anxiety for me, high anxiety for them because they can't reach me. They can't just jump on a plane and just say, come and just hug me like, hey, it's okay. We can't do any of that. And then at that time too, Skype was not great. There was no FaceTiming or anything of that sort. So it was like I had to go to like a small shop in the wall to get some, credit points to call home. So very disconnected, and it was quite heavy with anxiety at that time.
Oh my God! And then
Yeah.
and then you decide to start a tech company. What? Talk about anxiety. So let's talk about. 'Cause I want to get into Clean App too, but what? So you travel across the world to start not just a new school, but really a new life. Like how? And then you're cleaning, and then you build an app. Like, and then for me, I talk about family a lot. Like, you're away from your family, so like, walk us through that journey of how you said, this is what I'm going to do. Because again, I want people to hear this. Like when you said you were going to come up with Clean App, what were the next steps? Like what did that look like? I mean, the pain points that you felt, let's dig deeper on the pain points, because this industry is ripe for I don't like to say the word disruption. I like to say improvement, right? Because it's not that we need to disrupt everything that's going on. This industry is doing a lot of great things, but it's you wanted to improve something. Like dig deeper on how did you? I mean, how did Clean App come about? Like the story behind the story.
Yeah, so I was cleaning houses in Texas, and then my closest friend at the time, who's now my spouse, said, you know what, let's figure it out. He was just as broke as I was, so we put like $42 together for a flight to Phoenix. And I was sleeping on his couch, and it was quite dark. I was like, okay, I gotta figure out how to make money here. And the only thing, like, I was so broke that my phone was not even working. Like, I couldn't afford a pay plan. So I said, I'm going to just take a piece of paper. I found a book in the house, a pen, and I just wrote my name. I said, if you need cleaning, please call me Diana. And I put his number in there. And at that time, he was working at a U-Haul. And I would just place it on every doormat and just try to make sure that it's not blown with the wind around the same community that I was living in. And one lady called me, very old lady. Her name is Pat. And
you still remember her name?
Yeah, I still remember her name. She had a little poodle, and she called, and Josh, my spouse, was like, hey, I got a call from this lady. She said that you wanted to clean her house. Like, okay, bet. So I went to her house. She sat me down for an interview. The interview was like the longest 15 minutes of my life. And then she was like, okay, you got the job. So I cleaned her house, and she was super happy. Then she referred me to another neighbor to take care of their dog, and then another neighbor. And actually, up to now, when I'm testing the application, I still go back to that community, and I test the app with the clients from that community. And they're new clients now, so it's not the same people, but my name just kept being referred, and I was like, referral is such a strong thing. But the apps right now, like Home Advisor and TaskRabbit, they don't really know how to utilize that. And I was like, how about we make an app that just like removes all that hustle that a cleaner has to do just to get a job. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, okay, we can do this. So I created a prototype, and I started talking to people. They saw it was a great idea. And ironically, Home Advisor picked up on that, but they didn't pick it up well enough. And that's the thing about secondhand stuff, or like there's a term we use in Swahili, but I don't know in English. When you copy someone's work, your work is still a copy. It's not great enough to be like the original.
The original. Oh yeah. That's why I don't. When people say like, Rick, why do you share so much about Route or just anything you do? It's like it's up here. You know, like you as the founder, you as the creator of the solutions that you're creating. Nobody's gonna do it. They can make similar things, but there's that magic and that secret sauce that only you know because you're the creator. Yeah.
Exactly, because you have the long-term game. You're looking at the long-term game. So one step is just that one step. There are so many other steps that you're creating this kind of like foundation for the bigger project, the big disruption. And when someone's copying you, they're only looking at that one step and thinking that's the disruption, but it's really not.
And there's so many intricate pieces there of connection of data or connection of ideation that you miss one, that experience is no longer the same. Like they've missed something. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's how I started. I got into the app, industry. And it was really just a very desperate time. But the part that just made me like get up and want to really pursue it is there's a time that I was cleaning, I was bringing money in, but it was so little, and it was not enough to take care of both me and Josh. And so I would stay hungry all day and just drink water and sometimes try to sleep out the hunger so that we can eat dinner together at the end of the day. And this day I was just so stressed out. I couldn't sleep. I was really hungry. And we had a roommate, and my roommate brought his girlfriend over. She made some really good bread and she wasn't happy about it. So she threw it in the trash can. I literally went in the trash can. After they went out, they went upstairs, grabbed the trash can, opened it, and I went into the room and I just started eating that bread. And I was like shaking because first I was so scared that I would get caught, because how embarrassing is that you're going to someone's trash can to get food. And also just the adrenaline of like how good the bread smelled. And I just sat down for a second and I was like, this is not what I want to be. This is not what I'm planning to be. I have an entire family back home depending on me to make this happen. They all saved this money for me to get here, and I'm eating out of someone else's trash can. And something just snapped. I got so upset that I just was like, I'm not gonna do this. I'm never gonna get myself in this situation again. And from then on, I've not looked back. I've not even just like, anytime something doesn't work out with clean, it's not like, oh, well, maybe I should just get, a job and just forget about this. It's taking too long. It's not working out. I've never had that thought in my mind.
So
Even when
talk
others
about
are getting frustrated around me. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean that's a perfect example of a pivotal moment, right? Like that. Like I got goosebumps here because I'm with you on that. Like I know there's a lot of weight on your shoulders. I can hear it in your voice of how much you you're going to make this work. This is the industry that you're in, to create solutions, to create a legacy. And and what others don't know too, what I know about you already too, is you didn't just, like, we're talking about building an app, right? I talk about this myself. I'm me and you are fellow founders. But you guys, anybody that's listening, like she also got sick of other people not meeting her expectations, where this girl went and taught herself how to code and is literally building the app. So don't sell yourself short on, there's one thing for us as visionaries to come up with ideas and team up with others to build it with us, for us, with us.
Yes.
But Diana is building the damn product herself with a team, but touch on that. Like, you guys just heard the story that she just said, right? Everybody should have goosebumps in there, because we've all reached that moment where, you do get embarrassed. You do reach a point where, like, did I pay all this money for school to be doing what I'm doing? That's what I did. My first 2 years cleaning with my wife, literally garbage shit out of the toilet, being yelled at by, business owners that they had no respect for us as to them, we were cleaning people. They didn't know that we were business owners. But, it's like, we have thick skin. You have thick skin, but you went and tried to, you're doing the code yourself. Like, I can't even fathom. I've attempted to learn and understand lines of code. What made you do that? Like, what? Please tell me that. But I don't want my team to get ideas and tell me to go start coding too. So nobody, hopefully the route team is not listening. But tell us how the hell that happened, because again, not only did you say, I'm going to build something, and then you went out and started doing it, but you're doing it yourself.
So, man, I'm telling you, there are scammers out here who call themselves developers. So I did not know that, because at that time I wasn't technical in the programming side, and this guy was like, hey, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. We have a team. Looked at his website, has like 30 people on there. Like, everything looked very legit. And I was like, okay, I think this time it's going to work. I think this contractor this time is going to work. And that was 2020, end of 2019. So he said, in 3 months, we're going to have an app. I was like, okay, bet. So I was like, okay, 2020. Like I have a very heavy intuition. So I knew there was something that was going to disrupt 2020, and it was not good. I knew that there's no way that we can have a 5 to 7 year run of a great economy and nothing happening. There's always a reset. And this is a great time because I know for a fact that this application would come in very useful. So we started marketing even before the application was done. And then the end of the third month, nothing. Already gave him my deposit, got a loan, like $7,000. Of course, like $7,000 at that time was like a lot of money.
It still
it's
is. What do you mean?
For a lot of people, like,
Yeah. What do you mean? I got a landscaping quote for $7,000. I almost fell out of the car.
congratulations on that.
No. I didn't want to pay for it though.
So anyway, he dragged us for months and months. Month 4, month 5, month 6, nothing. And then it started being arguments. And then in September, that's when I realized, wow, I think we just got scammed. I think we're not going to get an app. And then, went through this, like, it became a can of worms of, like, a legal can of worms. And my CTO, who's technical, Josh Barr, said, I have a feeling that we're not going to have an app. And my heart just dropped because I was like, this is the 4th time.
Hold on. So you've had so 3 times before this you had been. Oh wow! See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, since 2016. And even talking to investors, they're like, "Wait, so you haven't had an app for 4 years?" And I'm like, "That's correct."
Yeah.
And they're like, "So what makes you think, someone's gonna invest in you? You've taken so long." And I was just like, okay, now I have to figure something out because I'm completely broke. We're in the middle of a pandemic. And I still have to make this happen because I have to take care of my family. So I was like, I'm just going to sit down and start learning. So I started picking his brain. Okay, so what do you think? What's the best program to start with? JavaScript. Okay. Got into a JavaScript kind of class. It was like it's your own timing. Like you learn whenever you want to. Got into that class, started understanding the basics. And then I was like, okay, so I understand the basics, not all the way, but I can build something. Build like my first calculator. And then I was like, okay, I don't have time to just keep playing around with JavaScript. Let's get into the meat. And then he was like, okay, then start with C# because C# is the language for most mobile apps. Mm-hmm. Got into C#, then built part of the application. And the part that I built was just the rating system. So it's like making calls like, hey, you need a cleaner? Okay, calling a cleaner. Okay, so this person needs you at this time. Okay, here's their number. Okay. And then telling them, can you just rate them through this app? It was literally just a rating, like 5 stars, feedback.
But these are small. These are small wins for you, right? Like you're executing on the development to actually make it work.
Exactly. And then we just added the messaging part, and it worked. So I could message my CTO from across the desk, and it was working. I was like, okay, this is a win. And so I started realizing through that process what the red flags that I did not see from having a contractor developer. And I'm not saying that all contract developers they're absolutely phenomenal contractors out there. But for my price range, I was not lucky at all. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, okay, this is working. Now I understand what type of developers we need, like from the experience to the languages to front end, back end, all that stuff that I had to learn through, I started to understand. So when I was hiring developers, it was a breeze. It was like, okay, so what do you know? How long have you done it? And then, okay, when can you start? And I was able to put also a folder of information that they can start learning from, because some of them were like, okay, I know this, and I'm like, okay, you know this, you need to learn this, and you have 1 or 2 weeks to learn this and start experimenting with it. And that's how I started, you know, getting developers, and those developers are like, oh, okay, so I've learned this, Diana, and you did this in this app. I think I can improve it this way.
Okay.
Okay, makes
There you
sense.
go. Yeah.
And then slowly by slowly, we've completed the application.
Wow, man. Hey, well, kudos to you. And like, seriously, talk about a recipe for just a dangerous founder, right? Like a dangerous owner of a tech startup, because you could call yourself a non-technical founder, but now you've become a technical founder, right? So now you went from one spectrum to the other. Yes, obviously when you said investors said that, that was just like irking to me, because me and you, we've talked about how hard it is already to fundraise as, you know, as people of color, but like, and not being technical and not having the pedigree. Well, guess what? You're getting that. You're getting the pedigree of at least the nitty gritty understanding of learning that side of the business. So like, to me, that's where I'd put my money, right? Not only do you know cleaning, but now you know the pain points of cleaning, and you're solving those pain points. Oh, and by the way, sprinkle on top that you also know how to build that development or know the code. Dude, that's, man, that's, again, we could geek out on this stuff. But like, all right, so now let's go. So you've taken that on. So you mentioned, is Josh your husband?
Yes.
And then he's your CTO?
No.
No.
There are two Joshes. I
Gotcha.
tend to attract Joshes in my life.
So you got two Joshes in your life.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. No. So the other Josh is your CTO. Phoenix. So you have a team here in Phoenix, and you have a team in, I think you said Kenya, right?
Yes. So
Okay.
the developers are from Kenya, but they are managed by US-based technical people, just to make
Okay.
sure that they're following how the culture is going. You know, there are small things that you don't realize until when you're using an app, you're like, this was not built here.
Yeah. No, for sure.
So,
I've seen
yeah.
that. Like, the culture is actually one of the things Joe on my team, he's like, Rick, we have to think about that, right? Like that actually dictates a lot how things are designed, the UX, the UI, especially because, you know, if you're building in the States, it's different than building in Europe, different than building in
Exactly.
South America.
Exactly. Yeah.
Not saying that anything is better than the other. It's just that's who it's suited for, and that's how
Right.
somebody learns, you know? So,
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I got everybody who's listening and watching, I'm sorry, we're getting real technical here. This is just one of the first times I've actually been able to share the technical part of, you know, technology and cleaning. All right, so let's talk about Clean app itself and the success you're seeing, and why, if you're a residential cleaner right now listening and watching the episode, Diana, what should people expect from Clean app? Why should people check it out? What's happening now with your traction, and then what do you see in the future of 2021 into next year, that anybody who's in residential, because I think it focuses on residential. Am I right?
Residential. Yeah.
Okay. What could you share that the residential cleaning industry should be on the lookout for?
First, I would say that Clean app is really for cleaners. It's not, you know, there's a tendency in the cleaning industry to put the client first instead of having the cleaner first.
Amen. Amen to that.
It doesn't make sense. It's like a company putting their customers first instead of the employees first. If the employees are not happy, they're not well taken care of, they're not well equipped, they're not well educated, they're not going to do a good job. So why would you switch roles? It doesn't make sense. This industry keeps doing that. So this application is really for cleaners. The overpriced leads, the overpriced dead leads that, you know, are you know, a lot of people get, that's not there. You just forget about that system completely. We completely eradicated that system, and that's where most of the disruption is. And second thing you're going to expect is a lot of growth and a lot of progress. You're going to see changes that would work for you. And we listen to cleaners. We listen to cleaners all the time. We're going to ask questions. Most of the feedback, we're really just looking at from the cleaners. Because we know if cleaners are taken care of and they grow and they are successful in this industry, then we get successful. We become successful.
Yeah.
But if we take the route like other applications, residential application cleaning applications take, of like squashing the cleaner to like having nothing and doing a lot, then we're not really helping our community.
No, we're not. Yeah, like you have to truly help them not just win business, but win profitable business, right? Because the way that they can build a business is them as like, think about residential. I know from my experiences, you're busy doing a lot of the cleaning yourself first till you get enough work that you could hire somebody. And then you get enough work that you hire somebody else. And then it goes on and on. But at first it's you, right? So like it's in your best interest, it's in my best interest, it's in anybody who's building solutions for the cleaning industry, and residential is one of your, targets. Set them up for success. So then now their next problem is workforce management. Well, guess what? There's solutions out there, right? Next issue is, how do I bill? How do I get paid faster? Again, we'll get you there, but nothing happens without sales. You cannot grow unless you have a busy book of business or a calendar that's jam-packed. So I got to believe that's your number one goal with CleanApp too, is to book people's schedule, right? With good business. Not just regular business.
Right. And the secret sauce that we think is driving business is our stories. Like, just look at the success of Route. It's because of you, your story, what you're doing, what the success of Clean. Like, we already have a collective mail list of 4,000 to 6,000 people just because of the story. They're like, you understand what I'm going through. You're not just another tech person from Silicon Valley who's like, what if we do this? And they really don't care about
and they didn't do it. And they never did it themselves.
They didn't do it. They just think it's cool. They put something together. They got the funds for it, and now they're national, but it's not really working.
Nah.
Like, no.
I could talk about another solution that I don't talk bad about people, but it's like they were that example of not knowing the industry first. They launched, got so big, and people were like, the people that were showing up at our doorstep weren't even vetted. They weren't even the people that should have showed up.
Right.
So again, shows you they didn't know the pain point. They didn't really know the subject matter, which in our case, we do. So Diana, the one question I wanted to touch on, because I like that both spectrums. What is, in your opinion, the difference between a small business and a tech startup business? As far as, think of the cleaning business owner building a cleaning business and then building a tech startup at the same time. Have you seen differences? Is there anything that you could say that sticks out to you? Like, damn, this is very different than when I was just doing the cleaning myself and running my own book of business.
I would say a lot of efficiency, and I don't want to say that a tech startup has efficiency, because we've already seen this in the market where there's tech in it, but it's not efficient. Like, you can put tech in something, but is it working for the people that you're supposed to do so? So I would say a small business can be efficient without tech. And a tech business does not mean that it's always efficient. So someone has to be smart enough to actually test things out themselves, or be in the industry themselves to understand that, okay, what we're doing is not working. If you have a small business and it's working for you, you're okay with it, you have a book, like a physical book, and you're writing things down and that works, that's fine. But if you feel like it's not working for you, you have to start looking outside of the box. And same thing for tech founders who are out there. if something is sounding cool, but you don't understand how it's helping the people around you, how it's helping you, how it's helping your employees, get rid of it. There's so
Yeah.
much tech out there that if you decide not to use one piece of tech and everyone's using it, does that just because it's working for everyone else does not mean that it's the best solution out there.
Yeah.
Always ask yourself questions.
No, you know what? And that's a good point you bring up too, because I do have people that, they're like, Rick, you drive home technology so much, but they're like, what if I'm content, or like, what if tech doesn't solve everything?
Yeah.
There is a lot of human involvement that has to be the solution first. Then
Yes.
tech almost is like an enabler. It enables what I
Exactly.
feel is my like the one word I always ask people is, do you want to scale? If you want to scale,
Yeah.
then you kind of need technology.
You
If
have
you're
to
like you
automate
said,
things.
a book, like I've got people still within my organization at Rosalato, they've got a binder and they've got 15 of them and it works for them. And it's like, I don't want to break it. It's working. That's where it's like, man, tech, you don't need tech for everything, but it sure does enable you to scale, I guess.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
I wanted also to say, and that's the reason why I'm in tech is first to help first the black, the Hispanic, and the immigrant community because they're being left behind. And what I mean by this is that people have found ways to simplify processes that would take so much time away from them. And our people are still not being educated fast enough to be able to take advantage of the systems that have already been placed. So yeah, if you're content with that, that's okay. If it's working for you, that's okay. However, when you get to a point, it stops working. You have to start finding ways that would be better because things change, people change, industries change,
Yeah.
and you have to have that growth mentality of saying, you know what, I love what's going on, but 2, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, would I be okay with doing this? Would something change and make me want to change things? And will I do it in a hurry and, with anxiety trying to figure it out? Or should I start learning now?
Yeah. No, yeah. That's a great point. Great point. Adoption too. It's some people aren't ready for adoption and hey, we could go on and on with that. But another thing I wanted to ask you, as far as, again, in this space, I see women coming up big time, right? I speak to more and more women business owners that when I talk to them, I'm like, damn, this girl is hungry. This girl is ready. And she's got her shit together. Not that the guys don't, but it's like you guys feel like you have a chip on the shoulder and it's almost like a driver, right? Like it's a driver and then not even, and this is just in the service industry, in tech, it's even more so. I mean, but to touch back on cleaning though, like you've been a cleaner.
Yeah.
I'm a cleaner. I'm going to go strip and wax some floors tomorrow just because
Hey.
I have to, right?
Yeah.
We're shit hit the fan. My whole team's out of state. Me and my cousin got to help tomorrow. But
Yeah.
what is one word you would describe cleaners? The everyday cleaner, whether it's residential or commercial, like what is one word you feel describes a cleaner in their day-to-day job as a cleaning technician, cleaning specialist, whatever you want to call cleaner in the cleaning industry?
I would 100% say hero. I would 100% say a hero. And this is why. When us cleaners, we clean offices, houses, facilities, we are enabling every other person to do their job without distractions. A lot of people, like I'm drinking coffee right now. If I had a stain on my coffee desk at work, let's say I'm working a corporate job, and I look at that coffee stain for 3 days, I will lose my mind. But the next day, you come to the office, your desk is clean, the trash can with the banana peels and whatever is gone, you have a clean trash can, you don't even think about it. You just like, all right, bet, let's start the day. So I would say they're like Batman. You know,
Yeah, no,
Batman only saves the day at night in the shadows. You never see him, but he always gets things done. And he makes sure that society is moving towards their goals, their dreams, their ambitions without any disruption, without any distractions. I think that's the right word, without any distractions.
oh
So,
man, that
100% hero.
I don't even know how to follow that up because that is you nailed it. I mean that unsung hero too, right? Like unsung hero
Yes.
where
Yes.
nobody nobody recognize or attributes anything to when they see
Hmm.
this every day like in our own office. I know when we didn't have a cleaning the night
Yeah.
before because you see fingerprints, you see
Yeah.
things that you're like, oh god, like you said, it's actually I've never heard that before too, where it distracts you.
Yeah.
Like it makes you come out of your desk and go complain, right? And say, hey,
Yes.
what happened? What happened
Yeah.
last night? Why is my
Yeah.
desk not clean?
Right.
You're distracted for the day. You started off your day at work flustered, but
Yeah.
what about the days that they've done it for 365 days in a row that you
Right.
haven't said thank you? You haven't
Right.
said, like so it's appreciation for, and especially with COVID now, man. Like talk about this, if this isn't the turning point for the cleaning industry, which I think it is, and I've seen some, a lot of,
It,
you
it for
know,
sure is.
a lot of, again, I could go on and on talking to you about so much more. I mean, but I always love to end with a funny story. Uh, give us something that you feel was like, damn, did I just do that? Or did that just happen to you while you were out there in the field cleaning?
Oh man. Let's see here. I would say oh, I did the most dumbest thing. So I was like, you know what? This is a really good client of mine. I'm going to really, really, really clean this place up. And they were just looking for like a spring, like not spring cleaning, but just light cleaning. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a deep cleaning. And my dumb self didn't even think about it. I was trying to clean the bulbs, and the bulbs were still hot. So I ended up busting. The bulbs just went off like poof, and I was just like,
Oh,
oh no,
like
what was I thinking?
a regular bulb, or these are
Yeah, regular
specialty type
bulbs.
bulbs?
Yeah, the bulbs in the bathroom, and I was just like, oh my gosh, what the heck? I didn't even think about it that way. So I'm flustered a little bit, texting like, hey, I'm gonna replace your bulbs. I'm so sorry. And the client was like, no, it's fine. It's completely fine. Don't worry about it. But I was just like, my dumbass. I was not even thinking about it. The bulb was
Yeah.
hot, and I was using a wet microfiber. Like,
Oh yeah.
I didn't
Oh,
think.
that
So
happens. That happens to the best of us. I've said too many funny stories on my point, so I can't really add more. So, but hey, Diana, thank you so much. I appreciate the
thank
time that
you.
you had here. I think, everybody, as you know, you'll have all Diana's information if that's okay with you, Diana. If people want to reach out,
Completely
connect with
fine.
you, we'll have your LinkedIn on there. We'll have the Clean App website. We'll have a little bit information just about the app itself
Thank
and
you.
how people can connect with you on social media. Because again, I think your story is something that should be shared, listened to, watched, heard. This is only the beginning for you. So
Thank you.
I'm super excited to be connected with you.
Thank you so much. Like, you have been such an inspiration. Anytime I talk to anybody around me, I'm just like, yo, so there's this dude called Ricky, okay? He's doing it. Like, he's making it happen. And so I just want to say, like, you've broken barriers for people of color in an amazing, tremendous way. And please don't stop, because, like, you blow people out the water. And
Thank you.
like, just continue doing this, continue doing the podcast, continue pushing for route, continue with everything that you're doing, even with the hub that you just opened. Man, like, that's what cleaners need right now.
Yeah.
And
No.
there are a lot of innovative cleaners out there. They just don't know how to, like, connect and just get their steps going, and you're doing that for them. So thank you for that. Keep doing that, please. We do need that. Yeah.
I'm here for you. I'm here for you. Like I told you before. Let me know whatever you need. To be just there for you to help with Clean App, because I feel like at some point, I mean, I've told you this too. Once we're ready, I think there's going to be an integration there for us to be able to bring Clean into Route for the residential, because again, we're going to be a marketplace, but the marketplace I'm looking at is for commercial. So you doing residential, that's a big piece. I'm going to fall
Yeah.
short. We're going to fall short for the residential cleaners that are using Route to, to buy supplies or to bill clients to use it for their business. But I'm not going to be able to help them for residential leads because we're just not, I don't know that part, so for
Yeah.
you to know that there's something there. We're not anywhere near ready yet, but we'll be launching in November.
Whenever you
Yeah.
guys are ready.
So I was going to tell you,
ready.
you should 100% be going to Vegas. The ISSA BSCAI shows in Vegas,
That's fun.
November 15th.
Yeah.
You should be there. I mean, we'll have a booth. You can come over there, hang out there.
Okay.
There's a lot of residential cleaners that will be
Okay.
going to that show. I'm talking like hundreds of residential cleaners that go to this show. It's the biggest cleaning show in North America.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm
All right.
definitely gonna be there.
So again, everybody, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. Tune in. As you know, this isn't going to stop anytime soon. We're here to continue to empower the cleaning industry, share the stories like Diana's, and really just shed a light on what's happening today, what's happened yesterday, and what's going to happen tomorrow. So again,
Absolutely.
till next time, guys, thank you so much. And here's another episode of Cleaning and Cocktails, hot off the press.